Imagine an island that has whispered secrets for over 2 centuries, a place where every stone seems to hide a clue and every shadow holds a mystery. That's Oak Island, an eerie landmass off the coast of Nova Scotia, surrounded by tales of hidden treasure, ancient visitors, and unexplained happenings. But something even more chilling has just been revealed. Rick Lagina, one of the key figures behind the decades-long hunt, has come across something so dark, so unsettling that it's left him visibly shaken. What could possibly be buried beneath this cursed island that would leave a seasoned explorer trembling? Let's go back to where it all started. Rick was just 11 years old when he stumbled upon an article in Reader's Digest back in 1965. It spoke of Oak Island and its unsolved mysteries. And for young Rick, that one article planted a dream. That fascination never left him. Years later, with his younger brother Marty, an engineer and successful businessman, the two set out to do something most would only dare to imagine: solve the riddle of Oak Island. The Lagina brothers from the quiet town of Kingsford, Michigan, turned their childhood obsession into a full-fledged expedition. Together they formed a team and brought with them a mix of old-school curiosity and cutting-edge technology. Their journey, documented in the hit TV show The Curse of Oak Island, has gripped millions around the globe, and for good reason. Their discoveries have been nothing short of extraordinary. Deep in the heart of the money pit, they found fragments of old manuscripts and bookbinding material, suggesting ancient documents may have once been hidden there. Then came the coins, dating as far back as the 1600s, including a Spanish silver coin believed to be from 1652. And perhaps the most mysterious find of all, a lead cross discovered at Smith's Cove. Scientific tests dated it to the 13th century and pointed towards southern France, raising eyebrows and sparking theories about a possible connection to the Knights Templar. But the list doesn't stop there. Roman artifacts, old buttons, ox shoes, and tools from a time long before the island was officially settled have surfaced, suggesting Europeans may have visited Oak Island much earlier than previously believed. Even more exciting, or perhaps alarming, were the traces of gold, silver, and platinum found in the soil and water samples taken from around the money pit. Could this be proof of a treasure still buried deep below? The Laginas have spared no effort. They've used everything from seismic testing and ground-penetrating radar to advanced drilling machinery to explore every inch of the island. Their goal, not just treasure, but truth. Rick has always said the real reward isn't gold, but knowledge. Who was here? What did they leave behind and why? But as the mystery deepens, so does the danger. Oak Island isn't just holding secrets, it's guarding them fiercely. Nowhere is this more evident than in the infamous Money Pit. Think of the Money Pit as the Bermuda Triangle of treasure hunting. It lures people in with promise, only to challenge their resolve at every turn. For over 200 years, treasure hunters have dug into this pit, believing it hides something extraordinary. But many walked away with nothing, or worse. In 1861, during one of the first major excavations, a platform collapsed at 98 feet, killing a worker. Since then, floods, cave-ins, and accidents have haunted every attempt to uncover its secrets. Fast forward to today. In Season 13, Episode 15 of the show, titled Channeling the Solution, tensions reached new heights. Rick, Marty, and their team believed they were on the verge of finding the legendary Chappelle Vault, possibly the heart of the mystery. Using their most advanced tools, they zeroed in on a specific area. But then the island pushed back. As they dug deeper, water began flooding in from below. The ground became unstable. The pit, already dangerous, turned treacherous. The risk was no longer just about losing time or money. It became a matter of safety. One wrong move could trigger a collapse, bringing everything crashing down literally. This wasn't new. The island has always been unpredictable. Its soft limestone and gypsum bedrock erode easily, making any deep digging a gamble. Even with today's technology, it's hard to know what lies beneath until you hit it, and by then it might be too late. But the Laginas aren't quitters. They faced setback after setback, and every time the island pushed them back, they came back stronger. When the water flooded the site, they acted fast, pumping it out, reinforcing the walls, and adjusting their strategy. The pressure was immense, but they kept going, not just for the treasure, but for the truth. Because that's what Oak Island really is, a test of faith, patience, and perseverance. And just when it seems like the mystery is about to be solved, the island throws up another wall, another trap, another secret. But the deeper they dig, the more they believe they're getting closer, not just to gold, but to the answers they've been chasing for decades. Still, with every inch they uncover, they step closer to something darker. Because beyond the artifacts and riches, there may lie something ancient, something powerful, and perhaps something that was never meant to be found. For years, the shifting ground, recurring floods, and subterranean movements created challenges that even modern tools couldn't fully predict. For instance, the team discovered an underground void, a hollow cavern, unexpectedly. As they ventured deeper, it began to collapse, albeit slowly. Had they not adjusted their strategy in time, the entire operation could have been at risk. They were under immense pressure. Time was short, and the window for potential discoveries was closing fast. This, in essence, is the greatest danger of the money pit. It's not just about what they might find, but how unpredictable the ground itself is. The deeper they went, the more unstable the earth became. And just when they were nearing a monumental discovery, the island pushed back. It was a race against time, against nature, and against the island itself. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, faced it all head-on. They never once considered turning back, despite the island challenging them for over 200 years. Every twist, turn, and setback only sharpened their determination. The money pit was still there, its secrets buried deep underground. But one thing is certain, the journey is far from over. The team has come closer than ever before. Yet, as everyone has seen, Oak Island doesn't give up its riches easily. The path ahead is fraught with dangers, uncertainty, promise, and risks that could shatter everything in an instant. The Lagina brothers aren't stopping. They'll keep digging, keep pushing forward no matter what comes. What if all those attempts concealed a far more chilling secret? Some believe the artifacts found in the swamp could be linked to human sacrifice or ritual death. No one speaks of it openly, but the idea alone is disturbing enough to suggest something deeply unsettling may be hidden here. Think about it. Each discovery, each new find adds fuel to the island's fire. Strange stone carvings, flood tunnels, Spanish coins all point to a historical pattern that's been concealed. And the swamp, a puzzling place, a mix of mystery and danger. Submerged ships and hidden platforms have been found there before. Now this structure with artifacts weaves a story not just of gold treasure, but of an ancient dark history. Every new clue asks us, are we ready to face the truth? Keep watching, because one thing we've learned is that Oak Island is never what it seems. As the mystery deepens, the hidden secrets aren't just in the island, they're within the team too. Want to learn more? I'm listening. Amid all this, some things are taking a psychological toll on them. The pressure, constant failures, and lack of closure raise the question, how long can they keep going through this hunt? The psychological toll is real. Rick Lagina is a clear example of this roller coaster. It's not just about the thrill, it's an impact that hasn't let go of them for years. Since the show began in 2014, Rick's passion has been evident. He left his postal job to chase this dream. But what happens when that dream is buried kilometers deep under decades of failure, with progress feeling inches away? It starts to break him silently. Haven't you seen Rick on the show? Exhausted, frustrated, drained. Doubt in his eyes, confidence followed by doubt again, a line always visible on his face. Rick says the pressure to find something substantial to justify years of effort and belief brings moments of deep introspection. It's not just about the treasure, it's an internal battle. It affects not just the body, but the mind. And it's not just physical stress. They're often operating under mental strain most of us can't imagine. Then there's the fear of the curse. Legend says Oak Island's curse demands 7 lives before the treasure is revealed. 6 lives have already been lost. In Season 13, Episode 15, Channeling the Solution, they returned to the swamp, chasing the fabled vault, knowing the heavy price of danger might be part of this journey. With every shovel's dig, the curse's weight looms heavily. This forces us to ask, is there really gold on Oak Island or something far older, darker? Is the curse real or just a spooky story to keep us viewers hooked? 6 lives gone and the team presses on. Will they bring the truth to light or will the island demand another sacrifice? Share in the comments. Do you believe in the curse? Will the Lagina brothers solve this mystery? Or does the island want one final sacrifice from us? Like, share, subscribe to keep bringing deep dives into haunting mysteries. Because in the end, the greatest treasure might just be the truth, but the truth is never easy. As the Lagina brothers and their team pressed deeper into the swamp, the air grew heavier with anticipation. Every shovelful of earth seemed to whisper secrets, but the island's resistance was unrelenting. The artifacts they uncovered, those strange ancient relics, hinted at a structure that could redefine the entire Oak Island mystery. Were these fragments of a forgotten civilization or markers of something more sinister? The swamp, with its murky depths and hidden platforms, seemed to guard its truths with a ferocity that tested the team's resolve. The discovery of human remains added a chilling layer to the hunt. These weren't just bones. They were echoes of lives lost, possibly tied to the island's curse. The team's historian, poring over the artifacts, suggested they could date back centuries, potentially linked to rituals or sacrifices. The idea sent shivers through the group, but Rick Lagina's eyes burned with determination. "We're not here to run from the truth," he said, his voice steady despite the weight of the find. The question lingered. Were these remains victims of the island's wrath or guardians of its secrets? Marty, ever the pragmatist, pushed for a scientific approach. Core samples, carbon dating, and ground-penetrating radar became their tools to unlock the swamp's mysteries. Yet the more data they gathered, the more questions arose. The artifacts pointed to a sophisticated design, perhaps a vault or a ceremonial chamber. But why here, in this desolate swamp? The team theorized about ancient mariners, Templar knights, or even pre-Columbian explorers, but no single theory fit perfectly. Oak Island was a puzzle with pieces from too many eras. The psychological strain was palpable. Late-night discussions around the war room table grew tense. Sleep was scarce, and the constant setbacks, equipment failures, collapsing tunnels, and sudden floods wore on the team. Rick, though outwardly steadfast, admitted in a quiet moment that the island was testing more than their skills, it was testing their souls. "It's like it knows we're close," he murmured, staring at a map marked with decades of failed attempts. The island's curse felt less like a legend and more like a living force. Season 13, Episode 15, Channeling the Solution, brought a breakthrough, or so they hoped. A new lead in the swamp revealed a stone alignment, possibly man-made, buried under layers of silt. The team's geologists speculated it could be part of a flood tunnel system designed to protect the money pit's treasures. But excavating it was a gamble. The ground was unstable, and one wrong move could trigger a collapse, burying their hopes along with the equipment. The stakes had never been higher. As they dug, the team uncovered a metal fragment, corroded but unmistakably forged. It bore markings that didn't match any known colonial or European craftsmanship. The discovery sent ripples of excitement through the crew, but also unease. Could this be evidence of a culture far older than they'd imagined? The historian proposed a radical theory. What if Oak Island was a repository for something far more valuable than gold? Knowledge, perhaps, or relics of a lost civilization. The idea was intoxicating, but it raised the stakes even further. The curse loomed larger with every find. The legend of 7 lives haunted their steps, and with 6 already claimed, the team couldn't ignore the shadow of danger. Safety protocols tightened, but the island seemed to defy them. A sudden cave-in during a late-night dig trapped 2 crew members briefly, shaking everyone to their core. They escaped, but the incident left a mark. Marty, usually the optimist, admitted, "We're pushing our luck. Yet retreat wasn't an option, not now, not when they were so close. The swamp's secrets weren't the only challenge. The team's dynamic was shifting. Disagreements flared over priorities. Should they focus on the swamp or return to the money pit's original shaft? Rick's obsession with the bigger picture clashed with Marty's focus on tangible results. The tension wasn't just professional, it was personal. Years of sacrifice had forged a bond between the brothers, but the island was testing that too. "We've given everything," Rick said. "It's got to give something back." As winter loomed, threatening to halt their progress, the team raced against time. A new clue, a cryptic inscription on a stone fragment, hinted at a connection to the flood tunnels. Deciphering it became their obsession, but the language was unlike anything they'd seen. Was it a code, a map, or a warning? The historian reached out to experts worldwide, hoping for answers, but the clock was ticking. Oak Island's harsh winters had stopped treasure hunters before, and the team feared losing momentum. The final paragraph of this chapter in their saga belongs to the viewers. You followed the Lagina brothers through muddy trenches, heart-pounding discoveries, and soul-crushing setbacks. The truth of Oak Island remains elusive, but the journey is far from over. Will the next dig uncover the vault? Will the curse claim another life? Or will the island, as it has for centuries, keep its secrets buried? Share your thoughts. Do you think the Lagina brothers will crack the mystery, or is Oak Island's truth too deep to unearth? Keep watching, because the greatest treasure might just be the answers waiting in the mystery.